1510 and 105.3 FM.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Health Futures. I'm your host, Bob Roth. And of course, it's Friday, August 11th, 2017. And if you're just tuning in for the very first time, Health Futures is a show that's brought to you right here on Money Radio, 1510 AM, 105.3 FM, and found on the World Wide Web at moneyradio1510.com. In our show, what is it about? Health Futures is a show about how our older adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And we do that here on our show by bringing extraordinary guests. And I have I've got three extraordinary guests in our studio today. And I want to just get right to it because, you know, it really does take a village. And we have the most incredible village right here in Maricopa County in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And you know what? This village consists of organizations like this one I have here today. So I am proud to have in the studio with me, I've got Duet, Partners in Health and Aging, and I've got the executive director in the house. Her name is Elizabeth Banta. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Bob.
And I got the Director of Volunteer Services here, Sue Reckinger. Sue, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's Friday.
It is Friday. And I've got Laurie Fuchs, who is in client services for Cypress HomeCare Solutions, and she found incredible value in the services that you all provide.
I sure did. Thanks, Bob.
You are welcome. So welcome to the show, and I want to just kick it off, and I want to say, okay, to our listening audience, what is Duet, and what is Duet all about? So Elizabeth, Sue, who wants to jump in?
I'll take that one.
All right.
Duet is a nonprofit organization. We have been in existence since 1981, and we promote health and aging through a broad range of services to homebound adults, family caregivers, grandparents raising grandchildren, and faith communities.
Fantastic. And you guys were founded by this extraordinary woman, and I've had a chance to meet Dosha. Tell us a little bit about Dosha.
Oh, well, Elizabeth, you know her better than I do, but she's a treat, I'll tell you.
Dosha had this idea that by bringing people together, so much more could be done to improve the health and well-being of older adults. So she gathered together community leaders, volunteers, congregations of all faiths, and that hatched the idea of this nonprofit where people can share their time and their talents to improve quality of life for older adults through volunteer services and just a whole range of free of charge help for caregivers and grandparents raising grandchildren and isolated elders.
And you know what? It was born in a faith-based community. And at the time, it was Beatitudes Church, right? That's where it was born. And I remember its original name. It was called Beatitudes Center Door.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And you guys went through a name change over the years.
We did. The Church of the Beatitudes wonderfully founded our organization. Dosha Carlson, Reverend Dr. Dosha Carlson, worked there part-time, but from the beginning, the idea was to be an interfaith, community-based, grassroots nonprofit. So today we have partnerships with over 160 different faith communities around the valley.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But all kinds of different organizations pool together to create a beautiful tapestry of care.
And I am on their website right now, so if you're listening in and you happen to be sitting at your desktop, or you may be driving right now, if you're driving, do not pick up your device and plug this in, but maybe your passenger might be able to. But it's real simple. It's Duet, DUETAZ.org. You can. It's chock full of all kinds of information talking about homebound adults, grandparents raising children, family caregivers, and nurses in faith-based communities. And extraordinary work you guys are doing. And really the one, I talk about a village. I mean, and I look at you, Sue. I mean, you're the director of volunteer services. Mm-hmm. It all is based on volunteers. I mean, these are not people that are paid.
Exactly.
And so tell us about how does someone become a volunteer? How many volunteers do you have? In order for Duet to really keep to its mission, we've got to get people engaged into Duet.
We do. We really do. They are the gas in our engine. We would cease to exist without our volunteers in volunteer services. And right now we have 90 people on our wait list. So in order to eliminate those numbers, we need more volunteers.
So 90 people are waiting to get services from the volunteers.
Exactly.
And and the volunteer it's real simple. I mean, someone might need someone to drive them to an appointment, to the grocery store. You know the broad range of requests that are out there.
It is. I mean, we can take people to the store. We can shop for them. You can do friendly visiting, friendly phoning. We have minor home repairs, business help for those with vision issues, respite care. If you're a caregiver, 24/7 is a long time. So if a volunteer can donate 2.5 hours a week so that this caregiver can do their own medical appointments, do the grocery shopping, maybe have lunch with friends, something just as a little respite so they can go back in the home and again with a new breath help caregive for this person, because it is really a challenging journey for these people. So volunteers can sit there with the individual. We don't do any hands-on, so you're not pulling, pushing, or whatever, but you can read a book to them, play cards, watch TV, or just sit there and maybe have light conversation with the individual. It is so important. We have life stories if you want to go visit a person and ask them questions. This can take up to a year to do. One of the most fascinating questions for me is, what did you see when you looked out your bedroom window when you were 6 years old? And when you ask a group of people that, you can almost see their minds go back to looking out the windows. But these are the things that the volunteers do for the people that they're serving, and we call those folks neighbors. We have right now about 550 volunteers. This time of year when the weather gets a little warm, everybody wants to go someplace cooler. So that's when, we're always looking for volunteers, but we do lose a number in the summer when people vacate to cooler areas. So to be a volunteer, you attend an orientation. It's 2.5 hours long. And you hear about all the services that we have, our policies, procedures. All our volunteers receive level 1 fingerprinting.
I love it.
Yep, that's great. It's really, really important that we do that. And then once all the paperwork is processed, and you will get your picture taken. People say when we're doing orientation, oh, God, I didn't brush my hair. So here's an alert, brush your hair, we're going to take your picture. And it's just to make a badge so the volunteer can wear that when they're out with the neighbor shopping. The volunteer selects the time. So if you need to go to the grocery store, you set the time, you're going to pick the neighbor up and have that task at hand.
That's awesome.
It really is, and it's hard to believe we're almost done our first segment. But I want to just share with you. I mean, you're talking about something we talk about readily here on the show, and that is the family caregiver. The family caregiver really truly is the unsung hero in our communities. They make that ultimate sacrifice. When you sit down and you think about it, without volunteer services from Duet, without a neighbor or a friend or another family member helping that family member out that is doing the hard work, statistically, and these numbers come from the AARP, and I had Steve Jennings sitting right in that chair, and he cited it right off of the study that AARP had done a couple years ago. Couples caring for one another, 65 and older, 63% of the time the caregiver predeceases the care recipient.
Exactly.
So if you're listening in and you know of somebody in that role, or you find yourself in that role, you need to get some help. And you know what? If you don't have a neighbor, you don't have a friend, you don't have a family member, then look to the services of Duet, or call Cypress HomeCare Solutions and engage a private duty in-home care service company like Cypress to assist you so you can be a better caregiver for your loved one. So we've got Bruce Springsteen taking us out in the first segment. Way to go, James. Thank you. You're listening to Health Futures Taking Stock in You, and we've got Duet, Partners for Health and Aging, in the studio. We've been talking about their volunteers. We're going to pick up on that in the second segment. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Gary Kolb. I'm host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, insurance, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we will carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call, 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559.
Hi, everybody. Bill Tatro here. You know, being on the radio here in the Valley for over a decade and across the country for over 30 years, so much of my advice was based on the world's economic impact on the markets. The show was called It's All About Money. And since then, I've produced a newsletter that shares those same insights. Not specific advice for a product or service, but rather an economist's viewpoint that might help guide you in your financial choices. Dozens of articles each month are delivered right to you, designed to educate and help you control your economic future. To be informed is the best preparation for the future. I'm back and offering Money Radio listeners the opportunity to receive my newsletter for more than 50% off. That's right. Money Radio listeners can get my newsletter for over half off the monthly price. Go to BillTatro.com/moneyradio to get this exclusive offer. That's less than $10 per month to get peace of mind directly to your inbox. Go to BillTatro.com/moneyradio today.
The World Series champion Chicago Cubs coming to town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get tickets now for the D-backs Cubs series online at dbacks.com.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress Home Care Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. And I'm your host, Bob Roth. And if you were just tuning in right now, we have Duet, Partners at Health and Aging, here in the studio today. I've got Elizabeth Banta, who's the executive director. I've got Sue Reckinger, director of volunteer services. And I've got Laurie Fuchs, who is with our client services division of Cypress HomeCare Solutions. And if you missed the first segment, it was chock full of great information with regard to volunteerism, and what Duet really relies on is what makes Duet a success, is their volunteers. Go out to our website at cypresshomecare.com. Click on the media button. Drop down to the radio show. You'll catch this first segment. You'll catch about 160 or 70 others that we've been bringing to you for the last 4.5 years. So Sue Reckinger, Director of Volunteer Services. Volunteers are what really make it. And I know that you put out a plug, and I want to put out a plug again. I mean, we need volunteers to help these homebound adults to be able to age successfully in place. And the best way for them to get a hold of you is the website,
right?
Duet, duetaz.org.
Correct.
Or call 602-274-5022 and ask for Sue Reckinger.
Sure.
All right. No, fantastic. And, you know, when you really look at Duet, and I have to put this disclaimer in, I am on the board, and I joined the board, and I'm very selective on where I invest my time. And I get often asked a lot of to participate in a lot of boards, not-for-profit and for-profit boards. And I have a real passion for what you guys do, and I really do. I love what you guys do for our community. And not everybody can afford in-home care services like Cypress. And Duet is top on our list when people need assistance. And it's not direct care one-on-one, but it's more assisting them with, shopping, assisting them with meals and stuff like that, because that's the work that you and your volunteers do. But the one thing and the plug I want to give to you, and this is the reason why I really fell in love with Duet, is this young lady right here next to me, Laurie Fuchs.
I love being a young lady.
You are, and I whatever you're drinking, I want some of it.
Kombucha.
I'll take it. I will take it. But I do want to talk about the fact that Duet has these incredible support groups. And Laurie Fuchs joined my company about 10 years ago. And I said to her, look, you need to find out what Duet's all about, because we want to be able to assist them in their mission. And she came back in after she visited with, was it Elizabeth?
Oh, Elizabeth had given me a tour and told me everything that was going on there.
Right. And there was one other individual that has since retired, but I know.
Donna.
Yeah, Donna. Donna and Elizabeth. And Laurie Fuchs comes back after visiting with you, Elizabeth. And she says, oh, Bob. And I said, what? And she goes, they got this really great support group for families that are dealing with loved ones that have Alzheimer's. And she goes, it's on Thursdays at 3:30, 3 o'clock. She goes, you know what? Can I just take that time off and you don't have to pay me? I said, are you kidding me? Will it make you better what you do? She goes, yeah. Because, she was dealing with coping skills with her loved one, her mother, that was dealing with this disease. And I don't want to steal any of Laurie's thunder, but I want you to talk a little bit about that support group and what it did for you.
Because Cypress is all about solutions, I needed one for myself, and it ended up being Duet Support Group for Alzheimer's and dementia patients, the loved ones, the caregivers of those people. And my mother had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I became her answer person for everything, her power of attorney, everything, and had to make those decisions for her. And so being in that group once a week, I'm still friends with those people. I was in there probably 2.5 years until my mother passed away. I went another 6 months, even after my mother had walked on into heaven, because I had made such good friends in there. And to this day, I'm still friends with Karen. You know who that is. Mm-hmm. But she's wonderful. And people like that, it does take that village, Bob, and that was part of my own health.
Absolutely. I saw it. I definitely saw what you got out of that. And, in the support group area, can you share with us some of the support groups that Duet has?
Sure, I'd be happy to. And Laurie, it's so heartwarming to hear your story and your words. And we hear time and again that caregivers, before they join the company of others who are going through that same journey, they can feel very isolated and alone and really at a loss for what to do. Duet helps caregivers find strength and hope so they can persevere in caring for their aging loved ones, whether that's across the country. Those are still family caregivers. If people are making decisions from afar, it can produce a lot of guilt and a lot of feelings, whether it's across the living room, 24/7 in the home, or maybe just across town. All of that can be stressful for people. We have 12 different support groups that meet a total of 22 times in different locations around the valley throughout Maricopa County.
Love it.
Some are general caregiver support groups, regardless of the condition of the loved one. The caregiver is welcome. We have some that are specific for dementia. That is the one, Laurie, that you attended, one of them. and several that are specific to Parkinson's disease. We just started a support group for men. Men are welcome in all the support groups, but this is our first one, and just after 3 sessions, there are already 12 people coming together for that. That's in the Central Phoenix area. We have 3 that are conducted in Spanish. So really, we are trying to create something for everyone with that, so caregivers get hope, help, and realize that they're not alone.
And I want to build on that. I mean, because I think many people that are finding themselves in that caregiving role, whether it be a loved one with dementia or Alzheimer's, a loved one that may have some chronic illness or disease, they feel like they are alone. And Laurie Fuchs, I mean, I'm picking on you because you were in this support group, and I would imagine you felt isolated before you joined that support group. You felt like no one could understand what I am going through.
Oh, no. And my siblings were out of state. My mother, I had moved her here so that she could be near me, and we put her in a group home that fit her perfectly, that was near my house so I could visit her all the time. But when your own mother looks right through you and forgets who you are, it's heartbreaking. So to be able to, I always use the word verbally vomit, all over somebody who sits where I sit, who understands that, and then to have the direction of somebody like Donna who would direct us, and there was a lot of hand-holding. We carried the box of tissue once in a while. Everything stayed in that room. But the tools that they put in my toolbox kept me going for the next week. And then it was Thursday at 3 o'clock again, and I was always there.
I love it.
Get my fix of love and understanding from somebody.
We have a few different sources of help, types of help, including personalized guidance by phone. Caregivers can call us and get resources like Cypress or how to get home delivered meals. How do you go about choosing a different setting, living setting for your loved one? Those kinds of things we can help people with. And so I encourage people to call and get that personalized help. We have launched a new caregiver to caregiver mentor program, and that involves caregivers who are in a stable place or people who their loved ones may have passed away and they'd like to become a mentor, and they are paired up with isolated caregivers who maybe can't go to a support group, who are so really in their home and can't leave, and that one-on-one friendship is just making a great difference. So that's an opportunity to get help as well as to potentially volunteer in a different way through Duet.
How long have you been with Duet, Elizabeth?
I have for 22 years in this role as executive director, but an intern, that was way back in 1986.
Wow. So. And Sue, how long have you been around Duet?
Well, it'll be 10 years and 2 weeks, but I was there previously for 3 years, so I've been recycled.
Well, you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Recycled. You know, I wanted to ask you this question because I've been at the helm at Cypress for 14 years now. We're in our 24th year. And, you know, one of the things I want to pick up on our third segment is something that we've all talked about is dementia and Alzheimer's. Are you seeing a higher incidence of people that you're serving that have dementia or Alzheimer's?
Absolutely. In terms of the caregiving, the people.
That's what I'm talking about, yes.
Yes. And I learned recently Alzheimer's disease is the 4th leading cause of death in Arizona.
It is. And you know what? We're up against a break. It's halftime here at Health Futures. We'll be right back.
The bottom of the hour, we pause for a look at the world's news. Then we're back with Money Talk. We're Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
President Trump has sent a new warning to North Korea, declaring that a U.S. military response is locked and loaded should Pyongyang fire another missile. Democratic Congressman Ted Deutsch of Florida says the president needs to tone down the rhetoric and let diplomacy take over.
This makes it really more difficult for the overall effort to succeed, and it leads to the possibility of miscalculation. Nobody believes that the United States should launch a preemptive nuclear strike. Everyone understands what North Korea is capable of now.
Los Angeles has taken another step toward the 2028 Olympics despite questions about future costs. The city council voted 12-0 today to endorse documents at the heart of LA's plan to stage Summer Games 11 years from now. The contract outlines the financial responsibility of putting on the games, although a budget has not been completed. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 40 points. I'm Ann Cates.
You're part of a growing business. You need to hire, but not just any candidates. You need the right candidates. You need powerful tools to find the right fit for the job, and you need tools that are easy to use. That's where Indeed.com comes in. Indeed's advanced algorithm uses the specific details from your job listing to position your job post where more relevant candidates will find it. The right candidates. Screener questions help you zero in on the best talent, while sort and filter tools keep your recruitment organized. It's no surprise an independent study shows there are 5 times more hires made through Indeed than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing in relevant search results and helping you find qualified candidates faster. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
The leader in business news is the station you can take with you wherever you go. Get the Money Radio app for your smartphone and stay connected.
Bill Gunderson's nationwide Best Stocks radio show is now on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM. Every morning from 9 to 10 AM, professional money manager Bill Gunderson will talk about the economy, markets, and the best stocks now. Bill Gunderson is also the inventor of the Best Stocks Now app and the writer of the weekly Best Stocks Now newsletter. If you like to invest in the markets, this is the show for you. You will not want to miss one episode. Visit GundersonCapital.com for more info. That's GundersonCapital.com.
Arizona investment property experts are now your Mexico investment property experts. Join investment property experts this Wednesday for an informative Investing in Mexico real estate workshop. Learn about investing in Puerto Peñasco, Mexico, and how you can earn a net 15% annual return. IPX's crown jewel in Mexico is the Esmeralda Resort, located on Sandy Beach in Puerto Peñasco, Mexico. Puerto Peñasco is the popular beach getaway known as Rocky Point. Only 3.5 hours away from Phoenix, Arizona, this is the perfect investment and vacation opportunity for you. As an investor, you will not only earn 15%, but you will have access to numerous investment projects. Currently, we are offering Esmeralda investors discounted lots, houses, and condos that can be purchased and flipped. And best of all, everything is 100% turnkey. With the home port commencing construction this year and its planned completion in 2019, this project will be a big boost to the economy and investment real estate in Rocky Point.
Learn more by attending this informative workshop. Call 602-254-6244 or visit azinvestmentpropertyexperts.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace has grown to 5,000 stores and counting. That's twice as many helpful locations as those big warehouse stores combined. But we're not just about numbers. We're about helping neighbors, because each one of our stores is part of your community. To celebrate, join us for the 5,000 store sale. We have daily offers and incredible savings throughout the store for 4 days only. Hurry in! The 5,000 store sale ends Monday, only at your neighborhood Ace. Offers valid at participating stores Friday through Monday only. See store for details.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam can even prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at TheraWorksRelief.com.
I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now. Attorneys are seeking another $1 billion from General Motors over its ignition switch defect. Lawyers representing car accident victims and customers seeking compensation for declining vehicle values have reached a tentative settlement with a trust for creditors of the so-called old GM. That trust is now seeking $1 billion in GM stock from the automaker to cover the claims. General Motors says the parties involved secretly plotted without its input, and it will aggressively protect its rights. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is set to send the first commercial supercomputer into space Monday for a year-long experiment that could help make possible an eventual mission to Mars. It will be a test to see if a computing system can withstand space's harsh conditions. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead 8 points. The NASDAQ Composite is up 30. The S&P 500 is holding on to a 1-point gain. That's Your Money Now.
Blue Star Medicated Ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the blue star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
Pop quiz. What's the most important part of a ship? Don't answer. It's the crow's nest. Know why? Complete visibility. I can see what's on the horizon and my crew pulling the ship together on the deck below. That's how I run this ship, and that's why we use Grainger. Grainger helps us keep a clear eye on our inventory, saving us time, saving us money, and helping keep everything ship shape. It's always smooth sailing with Grainger. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising.
You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you, and thank you, James. What a wonderful tribute to an incredible musician and a Valley resident here, Glen Campbell. And we've talked about Glen Campbell here on the show, and back in 2014, he released a movie called I'll Be Me. And if you have not seen it, I really urge you, our listening audience, you probably can pull it down off of Netflix or one of the other sites out there. It's really, really an incredible experience. He does a farewell tour after he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he and his family are profiled in this movie, navigating through this disease. His daughter Ashley's adorable, and she plays with him on the tour, and it just makes it gives me goosebumps. An incredible man, and he will be definitely missed. And you know, if you're just tuning in, Health Futures is what you're listening to, and we have Duet Partners in Health and Aging here in the studio. I've got Elizabeth Banta, who's the executive director. I've got Sue Reckinger, who's director of volunteer services, and I got Laurie Fuchs, who's with my client service team at Cypress HomeCare Solutions. In our first two segments, we talked about volunteerism. Mm-hmm. We talked about the great support groups that Laurie Fuchs was really benefiting from, and so many others in our community benefit from. And we really talked about the whole concept of this village, and it really does take a village. And, you know, if you're listening in and you are at a crossroads and just not sure where to go, Duet is here for you. Duet is so... it's been around since 1981, and it is, you know, easy to get to. You can go to duetaz.org, or you can call them at 602-274-5022. Now, we talked about support groups, and, you know, I know you've got a big event coming up, Elizabeth, and it's a caregiver symposium. And, you know, for me, I talked about the family caregiver being the unsung hero. You know, the one thing I didn't share is that, you know, nearly a third of our population that is 65 and older is living home alone. And, you know, when you look at 85 and old population, it's nearly 70% are living home alone. So, you know, we rely on family caregivers. We rely on services like Duet to help these individuals be able to age successfully in place, because we know 92% of them want to be there. We also know that the least costly place to be is to be home. Exactly. So I want you to just, if you can give us a quick shout out to this great support group that you got coming up, or should I say this great symposium that you got coming up in November. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, we are thrilled that on November 2nd, we will be bringing together some of the most wonderful experts in the area of caregiving to this symposium, which will be held on the property of Church of the Beatitudes in North Central Phoenix. And the symposium is designed to equip and empower and celebrate family caregivers who take on some of society's most difficult and undervalued work. We're bringing together Lynn Sue Cooney as moderator.
Awesome. She was a guest on my show last month.
She's
amazing.
Just a bright light for our community. AARP is involved. Their family and caregiver expert, Amy Goyer, who authored Juggling Life, Work, and Caregiving. She will be on our morning panel. Mary Beth Gallagher, Dr. Mary Beth Gallagher from Hospice of the Valley.
Know her. She's amazing as well.
She launched the first in the country dementia program that is really state of the art in the country, really. And then Dr. Pauline Boss, who is the pioneer theorist around the concept of ambiguous loss, which is the unique grief experience that caregivers experience when their loved one is physically there but psychologically absent. It's kind of this nebulous time. There's a name to it. And when people understand more about that, they really can continue and find meaning and hope and make it through those difficult times. So they're coming together. It is in the morning, just $20, includes lunch, and caregivers will really gain value and also enjoy the company of several hundred other family caregivers. We have something really neat in the afternoon, too. Can I share about that?
Absolutely,
on
please.
That day, Duet has created a 9-part video series that is bringing to life the book Loving Someone Who Has Dementia. Each of the video segments is about 20 minutes long and covers a chapter of that book. So in the afternoon, we're offering a free of charge training for caregivers and professionals also in the field of aging. Anyone with a caring heart can come that afternoon and be trained to facilitate discussion groups using this video series as the springboard for a 10-week, actually, a program that they would bring to their own book club or congregation or community group and help other people. So it really will be a special day.
Well, I will tell you, all-star lineup there. The only person I don't know is Amy, and if she's with AARP, she's a pro. But
she is outstanding.
Pauline Boss, you had last year.
We did.
And this ambiguous loss book is a big deal, and she's written other books too.
She has. She retired. She's professor emeritus at the University of Minnesota. She's coming here from up in the Midwest, and when she retired, this really was her gift to caregivers to take the academic work that she'd done and family therapy and bring this into a very readable book that anyone can benefit from. So we're extremely excited about that. She has utilized that theory, was called in when 9/11 happened, to work with those families where people didn't know maybe if their loved ones were alive. The tsunami in Asia, she was called in. She's just done a lot of work, but feels that this concept fits very, very well for caregivers. Those in our groups who have read the book feel that it has changed their lives.
Goes back to what I said, probably it was in the first segment, our unsung heroes. Our family caregivers. And, I know I shared this with our listening audience, and I'll share it again. Back in February, I was down at the legislature. There was a bill that AARP had put forth, and it was a tax credit. It was a credit for caring bill for $1,000. And it was truly an honor and privilege to be there before the Ways and Means Committee. And I was there with Dana Kennedy, who's AARP state president. And, I didn't have, and we don't, at Cypress, don't have a horse in this race, so to speak. But we care for these families, and we see the great work that these family caregivers go through. And, for just as little as $1,000 tax credit for provisioning services like mine, or getting medical equipment, or even paying for prescriptions, it's the little things. And we truly need some little, as I call it, base hits, and that would be something monumental. While that bill didn't make it, unfortunately, I really believe we're going to get there. And I want to repeat something that I've shared before in our listening audience. I look at aging as a three-legged stool, and that three-legged stool is 1, public policy, 2, getting more people into this space in healthcare, and that includes volunteers, Sue, just like what you're looking for.
Right.
And then the last piece is innovation and technologies, and we're seeing a lot of that happen today. So it's truly exciting times. It's scary times at the same. And it's even scarier for not-for-profits. And, I'm here to say that Duet exists because of its village. We talked about volunteers, but we also need donations. And donations are what makes Duet work. And Duet does have events throughout the year, and we'll talk about that in the fourth segment. But if you want to make a donation, go out to their website at duetaz.org. It relies on our community, and too many not-for-profits are failing. And we need you guys to be around another 36 years. I mean, you've been here for 36 years. You've really, really cemented your footprint here, and you serve so many in our community and make a difference in so many lives. And whether it be grandparents raising grandparents or whether older adults are alone, helping those family caregivers, you are chock full of all kinds of resources. So it's hard to believe we're down one last segment here. I want to gear it up, and we're going to make it the best segment left. We got a little Sting taking us out. Laurie Fuchs, Sue Reckinger, Elizabeth Banta. So great to have you on the show. We got one more segment. You're listening to Health Futures. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Gary Kolb. I'm host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, insurance, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we will carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call, 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about the Lund Mortgage Team. As you have heard me tell you, the Lund Mortgage Team makes getting a home loan as painless of a process as it can be by accommodating to you and your family. You need to meet at night? No problem. Weekends? Piece of cake. Low fees? Check. And of course, the best rates that are out there. Sounds like they check all the boxes, right? Well, get this. That's not all. Here's my friend and owner of the Lund Mortgage Team, Lisa Lund, to tell you that they will now also pay for your appraisal. Lisa?
Yes, that's right, Mark. At the Lund Mortgage Team, we are constantly trying to find ways to make your mortgage process easier. An additional cost people overlook sometimes is the cost of the appraisal. If you close your loan using the Lund Mortgage Team, we will reimburse you for that cost, a value up to $500. It's as simple as that.
Sounds awesome. Don't miss out on this great way to save even more money by using the Lund Mortgage Team. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940.
The World Series champion Chicago Cubs coming to town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get tickets now for the D-backs Cubs series online at dbacks.com.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. And we're on our fourth segment. And if you're just tuning in, I've got Duet, Partners in Health and Aging, here in the studio. And I want to just cut right to it because we only have one segment left. So, Sue Reckinger, tell us a little bit more about the volunteers. The work that you guys do, the services that you provide are free of charge.
Exactly. To touch base at the end of the last segment about donations are so important to us that we continue to provide services to everyone free of charge. And I know in this day and age, people say, well, what's up with that? Well, it is through private donations, through the cities that we work with. But the private donations are so important to us to keep us going and to keep people in their own homes for as long as possible.
You know, we talked about Glen Campbell in the last segment, and we lost one of the pioneers, one of the leaders here in our community recently that is an incredible benefactor to Duet, and I'm talking about Norman McClellan. And, you know, it really takes a village, but it takes leaders like that to, you know, and I'm talking about corporations. If you're listening in to Money Radio right now, you know, this organization, Duet, is so meaningful, so powerful, and so needed in our community. All you have to do is go to their website, duetaz.org, and on the homepage, Elizabeth, you go down to the map, right? And you can see who needs services.
Yes, we have an innovative online real-time service map that shows who is waiting for help right now.
And I'm clicking on it right now, and you've got what looks like grocery bags. And this guy, Stuart, needs help, and he needs someone to volunteer to grocery shop for him.
Yes, so if any listeners are curious to see if there's someone in their area who needs help, they can go just to the homepage, scroll down on the homepage, click on the map, and each symbol signifies a different type of service, and you can see the first name and age range and what kind of help they need. We don't use last names or the exact address.
Yep, understood. And Alexine needs computer services. You guys do that.
We do.
I mean, it's amazing. You know, it's so simple, and there's so many people that still have a lot left in their cup to give, that may be retired, that may be 60 or older, and, you know, are enjoying life. We're just saying, you know what, help Duet. And I don't want to sound like, you know, Jerry Maguire, help me to help you, but you know what, it feels so good. It's so rewarding. My dad told me a long time ago, it feels so much better to give than it does to take. And a big shout out to my dad, who just survived a really big cardiac event. And I don't know why in the medical field they call them events, because this was no party. And he will tell you that. He just survived a heart attack, and he's 81 and a half years old. And I love you, Dad. And
love you noodles.
Love you noodles, exactly. But I will tell you, I mean, you know, there are people like him who still have, and even though he's retired, he could help somebody, because before this most recent medical event, he could have gone over and helped someone with a computer.
You know, we have, if I can interject quickly, 5 people that we help. They live in their own homes independently, who are 100 years old or older.
That's
so
awesome.
If you took someone to their medical appointment and they're 102, and it would give you such a warm feeling when you thought, hey, I helped this person remain living in their own home, surrounded by the things that they love, by having an hour worth of my day in my week. What a better gift than that.
And Sue, aren't you having a training class pretty soon for these volunteers?
We are. Thank you. We're having an orientation on August 19th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at St. John's Lutheran. I'm at 51st Avenue, and I don't
just north of Glendale.
Yep. So, again, it's 2.5 hours, and you'll get more information. You will learn more details about Duet and what we do. You'll see a video with the lady to my right. In the video, if you're lucky to watch that, you'll see what Laurie looks like with her dear sweet mother. If you can't attend an orientation that we have scheduled and it's easier for you to come to the office, I will be happy to do that for you.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And again, phone number 602-274-5022. We need volunteers. Volunteers are the ones that make the difference. And it's rather unfortunate. We have about 90 people, you were saying, that are on a wait list to get on to be able to get these services. And we do have people that are waiting to have someone just take them to a doctor's appointment.
And most of the people who are matched, it's an ongoing relationship. The average match is about 2.5 years, a duet of service between a volunteer and an isolated elder. So it becomes a deep friendship for many people.
And in the Jewish news this week, there was a friendship that was profiled and it was Susanne Fuchs and Shirley Kaiser, and they are like the best of friends now.
They are.
It's amazing. I mean, it really is. And again, I talk about older adults. I'm not talking about just kids. I mean, I'm just looking at them, and they're probably about the same age, and they just enjoy each other's company. And just to help your fellow brother or sister out is incredibly rewarding. And if you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've not done it, you got to try it. And if you try it, I promise you'll love it.
You know, we have a person that we help. She's a Holocaust survivor, and she's blind. She's had the same volunteer help her with all her paperwork for 26 years now. So that is a friendship.
Beautiful.
Just matched in heaven.
It's why your organization was discovered, was created, was to do just that. I've got about a minute and a half left, Elizabeth, and we're talking about volunteerism, but you got this grandparents, raising grandparents going on. You've got some other things, so can you just leave us a couple lasting impressions about all the great things that Duet does?
Sure. So another kind of family caregiver also sometimes feels isolated, and that includes grandparents raising grandchildren. We offer support groups and family activities and personalized guidance and legal assistance and more. So if any of our listeners are in that situation or know someone who is, we are a first stop for guidance and support. We also work with congregations to help them develop health programs by training registered nurses to become faith community nurses. We have a training program, a 40-hour program coming up in September for registered nurses who want to get started with that. So those are two other things.
I love it. Last thing, volunteer, St. Joe's. One more time, where is it? What date?
St. John's Lutheran, Saturday, August 19th from 9 to 11:30 a.m.
And then the other big plug I'm going to give is the Family Caregiver Symposium. I'm talking about the unsung heroes that are making the ultimate sacrifice. Thursday, November 2nd, and it's over at the Church for
the
Church of Beatitudes, and that's over there on Glendale Avenue. And you'll have moderating Lynn Sucuni, you got Pauline Boss, you got Mary Beth Gallagher, and Amy Goyer, an all-star cast. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Duet's mission is so awesome. I'm so proud to be on your board and so proud to be connected to it. And more importantly, I am so proud to refer people to you all.
Thank you, Bob, so much.
Thank you.
Lori Fox, any final words?
We love Duet. Thanks
right.
for serving, guys.
Well, it's great to have you guys here. You've been listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. Of course, it's Friday, and we'll be back next Friday. I got Dr. Martha Galati from Banner Health here. Be right back.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress HomeCare Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit CypressHomeCare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM.
You now catch Secured Financial Solutions on the Money with Anil Vazirani and his team every Thursday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. Secured Financial Solutions believes that an educated investor is a profitable one. So tune in and be empowered with the facts. Every Thursday at 1 p.m. right here on Money Radio, 1510 a.m. and 105.3 FM. To speak with Anil and his team now, call 800-957-5604 or visit dreamretire.com.
Money Radio 1510
and 105.3 FM.
KFNN Mesa Phoenix, taking a look at the market. The Dow's up 14 points at 21,858. The S&P 500's up 2 at 2440. And the Nasdaq's up 37 at 6254. Gold's up $6 at $12.96 an ounce. And oil's up 19 cents at $48 a barrel.
When people want to talk about money, this is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news.